What's up, my plant people? My name is Stacia. This is Oops, I Sold My Planties, and thanks for coming to hang out. So, we're doing something a little different today. Um, those of you who follow my social media have seen I just recently got a Milsbo cabinet. I've seen a couple of people, actually, I've seen quite a few people do their version of a greenhouse, and I've seen a couple of people do their version of a terrarium inside this greenhouse. I really like the terrarium version, so I'm going to do my own version with a different spin than everybody else has done. So let's see how this goes. This is my first time. I'm going to bring you guys along with me, show you what I'm going to do. First, what we're going to do is I bought this piece of, it's like plastic lattice. So it's waterproof because it's plastic. And we're going to build out a background on this. I'm thinking I want to do something that looks like a rock structure. I think that would be pretty cool. I've got some moss that I'm going to incorporate it, some spag and some sheet moss. I've also got some lava rock that I'm going to put in the bottom. In the bottom, I'm going to do kind of a terrarium, but not really. It's going to look like it, but nothing's actually going to be planted in it. It's going to be a couple of plants in pots, but I'm also going to have some terrain looking stuff down there as well. We are going to seal the cabinet itself with some Rust-Oleum, just because these are not made for higher humidity. They are made for decoration. So I'm going to take all the glass out of the cabinet. We're going to seal the metal with Rust-Oleum, and then we're going to put everything back together. I'm actually going to build the back of the terrarium on this because I don't want it to be a permanent structure. I want to be able to change it out if I feel. And maybe change the design at a later date. But we're going to give this a go. See how it works. All right, so we have big gap filler, expands to fill up to 3-inch gaps. So this is a high expander. I've seen this used. I have an idea of how it's used. I'm actually going to do a quick read of the directions myself, and we'll get to I almost said cocking. We'll get to doing her up after that. Anybody else who's done this? Do you feel like everything on your body is jiggling when you're shaking the can? Just wondering. It's not attractive. And I'm not dressed in my most attractive attire today either because this. Oh, I need gloves. I've heard you should use gloves when applying this stuff because it sticks to you and it's hard to get off. We're going to do the safe thing and wear the gloves. Shake weight. Shake weight. Alrighty. Y'all ready? Away we go. Alright, so this is going to be boring, but I'm just going to cover this whole back. We'll speed this up. You can watch what I'm doing if you want to, and I'll come back to you in a little bit. Alright, so as we're getting into this, I've gone through 3 cans and I need more. Because of what I want to do with where I want to build it out some over here, I need some more because 4 cans aren't going to cut it, obviously, being that this is 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shut the camera off now and I'm going to finish down here, and when Petey comes back with the other cans, I'll turn it back on. Almost got some on me so you guys can see how I finish it up and where I build out and such, okay? Alright, so Petey's back from the store with more great stuff. So we are going to commence this build out. Now I've got almost all of it covered to where I'm going to. I'm going to leave this little section empty because that's going to be below the substrate that's in the bottom of the terrarium. I'll show you what I'm going to do with the terrarium as I do it as well. So now I'm going to finish filling in this little spot here, but then I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to kind of build out some and almost make it look like a rock wall. In my mind it looks great. In reality, we'll see. Alright you guys, so this is it. This is what the back is generally going to look like. Once it dries, I'm going to pop these pots out and I'm going to shave it down. It's got to dry for at least 24 hours. Besides, I won't be home from school until tomorrow evening anyway to be able to do more on this. So, going to let it dry and we'll come back tomorrow. Alright, so we've given this a couple of weeks. I'm back in the same clothes because, you know, I figure I had already destroyed the shirt, so I figured I'd wear it again. So we gave it a couple weeks to dry, and this is what happened. It pulled itself away from the lattice in some places where it bowed, it buckled. So we're going to change it up a little bit, actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the foam away from the backing where it's coming loose, because, I mean, it's going to be fairly easy to do. So I'm going to do that, and then after I do that, I'm going to take this board here, and I'm going to silicone the foam to this board, and this is going to support it in the cabinet inside. So let's get started. All right, so after conferring with counsel, we have decided that what we're going to do is we're going to silicone this to the board, and we're going to weigh it down, strap it down, clamp it down, something like that to make it, so I'll probably weigh it down. I'll probably put something on it that, you know, keeps it pretty flat. And then once that's done and it's dried, hopefully by tomorrow, we will then fill where there are any gaps left.
All right, first timers, we're using DAP, Dynaflex 230, window door trident, siding and trim, 100% waterproof, paintable.
Do I need to smooth it? Like put it on there and then give it a nice smooth and then stick that down on top of it?
No.
Okay, what do we do? How are we gonna do it?
Once you cut the tip, you have to poke it. I have the back of a pen because that's all I got right now. And it worked.
We just did a little bit of what my girl Nikki calls red greening. We're going to let this sit a day or two. And then after we let this dry, what we're going to do is take everything where we've weighted it down, tied it down to the wood. And we're going to take some of that foam, the expandable foam. Great stuff, big gap filler, up to 3 inches. We're going to use a little bit of that and kind of go around the edges just to make sure that everything is secure. And then we'll let it cure again one more night. And then we'll actually be able to get to the carving. So y'all stick around. We're going to get it done, I promise. It's hot. Florida, February. Y'all are freezing. It's like 80 degrees here today.
Probably more.
See y'all next time. Okay, so we're going to fill in around the edges on this, and then I'm going to start carving the top. Yay, progress! We're going to let that dry for the night, and tomorrow we carve. All right, you guys, so it's time to finally start working on this again. So I'm going to shave away at the back to get that top coating off, and I'm going to form it in a few places, and then I'm going to cover it with silicone and then a peat and a moss mixture. Let's get to it. All right, you guys, so next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a black coat all over this. Everything's gonna get covered in black. All right, you guys, next I'm going to do a little bit of brown. So my other camera stopped working, my gimbal died. So we're gonna do it this way. What I'm gonna do now is silicone this and cover it with a layer of sphagnum and peat moss. We've got a mixture of peat and sphagnum, and then a little bit of Dish Garden, Fairy Garden, or Terrarium moss. And I have some sheet moss that I'm gonna mix in as well. So, to get started, we will put some silicone up here. Spread it nice and even. Alright, you guys, so that's the background. This is what it looks like right now. I'm just going to let this go ahead and dry. And then after it's dry, we are going to go put it in the cabinet. That's another. Alright, you guys, this is just so you can get an idea of what it's going to look like in the cabinet. That box won't be there. We're going to be doing something else. You have to wait and see what that is. So come on back and check it out later. So y'all stay tuned because we're going to actually seal the inside to keep it from rusting. We're going to make a little, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to come back and check it out because it's going to be good. In my mind, it's going to be good. I just hope to God it's good at the finished product. So far, I'm pleased, but we'll see what happens. So, if you like this content, make sure you go down below and give us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and mark your notification bell for all so you can get notified anytime I upload because this is the kind of stuff we do here. And as I always say here on my channel, thanks for coming to hang out. Y'all come back and bring your friends. If you don't want to bring your friends, that's cool because you guys are the reason I'm here and I'm doing this. I love you, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace out.